Hi, I'm Phil Vickery and welcome to my podcasts. I've got some delicious new recipes for you which are really easy and simple to make, so there's absolutely no excuse why you can't give them a try. Right, today we're making baked toffee cheesecake. This is my personal favourites and I love it and it's delicious. It's a very simple recipe, but we've got to get a few things right. So let's start with the ingredients. Here I've got cocoa powder, digestive biscuits, half fat creme fraiche, light cream cheese, caster sugar, eggs, butter or margarine, vanilla extract, corn flour and carnation caramel. First thing to do is to make the base. So what I'm going to do is put the butter or margarine into a pan, and to that I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of the caramel. Just bring that together so it melts nicely. While that's melting, put the digestive crumbs into the bowl along with the cocoa powder. And just bring those together. You can at this point add chocolate rather than butter. It's up to you, but it will increase the calorie content quite high, so it's up to you. These two have semi-melted together now. I'm going to pour that straight into the mixture. Now what you don't want here is a really firm base. Nice light base, so just mix that gently together. So bring that together nice and lightly. So here I've got a springform baking tin, and what I've done is I've wrapped it in 2 layers of cling film, because we're going to poach the whole thing later in the oven. That'll stop the water getting into the base. And we'll just tip that in like that, and with the back of the spoon just push the base into place. Don't pack it down too much. Not after, as I said, a rock solid base, but just after a nice loose crumb. Cream cheese goes into a bowl. Now you can make this in a machine, so really up to you if you've got one, and a food processor or a mixer, that's up to you. But I find it just as easy to make it by hand. Then the creme fraiche goes in as well. Don't waste any. 3 eggs, which you're going to just crack those in. Vanilla extract, 1.5 of those. And corn flour. Just bring these all together. At the start it's a bit difficult, but if you whisk from the centre like this, eventually everything will come together. A bit like making Yorkshire pudding. Don't need a machine. You can actually do it with a wooden spoon as well, but it takes slightly longer. That's done. So you put the tin into a baking tray like that, and you pour the batter carefully onto the cheesecake base, so it doesn't make the cheesecake base rise up. Just pop that in like that. Now, you get the rest of the caramel, and you spoon that into a bowl. Like that. And we're just going to bring that together. And when you whisk this caramel, it turns into a delicious sauce. I'll show you. Bring that together, and the whole thing loosens up beautifully. Look at that. So you've also got a caramel sauce. Okay, so that is now nice and loose, and then what we're going to do is swirl in the caramel. Right, now we need to bake the cheesecake. A little tip here. If you get some hot water and just pour that around about roughly 2 to 3 centimetres up the side of the tin. Now it's protected by the cling film. The water can't seep into the cheesecake, but what happens is the steam helps to cook the cheesecake quicker and more evenly. Preheated oven, 180 degrees centigrade, gas full. Pop the tray into the oven. Little tip here also, once the tray is in the oven, you can then top a bit further, boiling water, so don't burn your fingers. Once the cheesecake is cooked for 45 minutes, turn the oven off and leave the door shut. And leave that for 1 hour. That'll ensure that you get a really nice soft cheesecake without overcooking it. After that hour, take it out, leave it to cool to room temperature, then put it in the fridge and chill it. That way it will stop the big cracks forming in your cheesecake. Okay? Then, with a palette knife, I'm going to just gently run around the outside of the cheesecake right down to the base. And then flip it open. It should come away from the sides like that. Then using something like a tall jar or a pan, fabulous, look at that. And then with a warm wetted knife, cut through the cheesecake. But there it is. Take a look at that. And finally, just a little bit of blueberry compote or sauce. There it is. Toffee cheesecake. For more delicious recipes and ideas, go to carnation.co.uk. I've made it, now it's your turn.